Hey everybody, Desiree here. I'm super excited to share with you today a few special tips around intuition, trusting your gut, and really letting go of self-sabotage, perfectionism, and other blocks that really get in the way of really trusting and amplifying our intuition and feeling like we always have our true north. So I'm going to share a little presentation with you today just to kind of wrap our mind around this. We want to get our conscious mind involved in this so that then the unconscious blocks can come to the surface and we can let them go. So let's set that intention together today that is what we're up to, that we are creating a safe and sacred space in this moment together for the next 15 minutes or so. It won't be a super long presentation, but enough time to start to maybe have some shifts or to open up to new possibilities and to really just live in this realm of possibility. If we allow the ego small self to run the show in the background, which of course is naturally human, but that's what's going on. There's this kind of record or tape playing in the background and it's saying it's driving us in certain directions. And so today's an opportunity to make sure that you're going in a direction that's going to bring you towards your best future self, your best future reality. So I'm going to click around for a moment. So intuition is a muscle. We want to think about intuition as something that we can flex, that we can develop, that we can strengthen. It's your inner knowing and your imagination. That is why I love intuition development, diving in, reading books about it, studying it, practicing through my meditations, because it really is about harnessing the imagination and this faculty that wasn't developed as a child, not to its fullest potential, because that wasn't a thing when I was growing up that we could even learn how to do that. And really, I think, a lot of powers that be don't want us to do that because it really means we actually have the skills to feel free. We won't just be following along doing whatever the status quo is asking of us. We'll actually be thinking, contemplating, feeling into what's best for us, finding our true north and going in a direction that serves us. And that can be individually, for your family, and for the highest good of all, of course. So everything we need to know is inside of us when we have that beautiful practice, spiritual practice of coming inwards. Then you get to find all the answers that are right there and the downloads from the divine that want to come in. We live in a muggle world that celebrates the intellect. So we're the ones that want to go from a 3D kind of even flat, I feel like grayscale reality where everything's kind of black and white and we're just kind of going along with what we're supposed to do, what we're told to do, what we've always thought we should do. To me, that's the muggle world. And then we're elevating ourselves into a 5D reality. So when you come into meditation with me, spiritual, journey, one of our journeys that we do, you're having this opportunity to really go deep into gnosis, in which you're remembering parts of yourself and soul, maybe from past lifetimes and gifts that you've had or things that were, you were persecuted for, this witch moon that we've talked about. And then you're able to kind of put it back together and to step forward into a version of yourself in this lifetime that really is in alignment for the times, like what's needed in the world that we live in today. How can I be of service, and what will bring the most fulfillment as I give my gifts away? And so when we go into those journeys into that 5D reality where it's like technicolor, where you're feeling the angels or divine guidance, ooh, that's super powerful. So then you're having that opportunity to be with your vast, powerful self and not the ego, shifting away from the ego into a greater enhanced experience of our vast and powerful self. And the most successful people in the world will tell you that they got there based on their gut instincts. Every successful person, whether it's celebrities like Oprah or Reese Witherspoon, Steve Jobs, they all had to follow their gut. And chances are people were trying to pull them down off that ladder they were climbing, people that were jealous or afraid. So not only did they have to keep trusting their own gut and the whispers of the universe, but they had to also block out the negativity of other people that were trying to pull them down. And that's just a reality of shooting for the stars and becoming successful. We kind of want to prepare for it. So, how to make it your superpower. And we are not taught this stuff in school, as I mentioned. So, now is our chance. Now's our chance to dig in. It really is a real thing. So, strengthening the intuition muscle, energetic mastery, understanding the energetic system and your spiritual essence through embodiment, using the physicality, the body temple, meditation, expanding our awareness and consciousness, and visualization. We have to use the imagination and it has to come through words. So when we're doing a journey, if you're at a moon temple with me or in one of the priestess school sessions, you'll often hear me talking it through like a visualization, but it may come through like a download, like just a feeling and knowing, feeling like something's happening or shifting. You might not see pictures in your mind. That's called clairvoyance, but it can be really fun to enhance the clairvoyance too. And that's definitely one of my natural abilities. I just naturally, for whatever reason, see the pictures in my mind, and I've been able to build on that, enhance it. And I think anybody can learn this stuff. I'd love to think that I'm just super extra magical, but it's not that. It's just simply that I've strengthened the muscle. I have a practice of energetic mastery that I weave into my everyday life and lifestyle, and anyone can do that. The feminine way is creativity, intuition, and co-creation in service of the good of all. So this more feminine way, away from the muggle world, the masculine way, the way things have been done since the onset of patriarchy, when women's wisdom and the medicine women of the communities were starting to be persecuted and their wisdom was hidden or it became a secret or it was lost. So now it's time to really bring that back because we're more aware of it. There's a reason consciousness is rising. We're feeling divine feminine energies coming through. And so it's an opportunity to allow that to come through, to not be scared of it anymore, to not close it off, to be conscious about our fear of being visible with a feminine power, and to take a look at our own relationship to power. Your small self wants to keep you small. We love our small self too. We don't want to get in a battle with our small self. We just acknowledge the role of it, which is kind of like this connection to the reptilian back brain, back to a time maybe in like caveman times where we had to stay safe, where we had to really like work to get food and water and all of that. And so there is a need to be protective, to just kind of do what's needed in the moment to survive. But we are elevating to this kind of super consciousness. And so we want to just have an awareness of how we're dancing and playing with the ego, right? Because it is going to be there. And yet we're also being asked, called to live on a higher frequency dimension and level at the same time. So your small self wants to keep you small, safe, and in your comfort zone. But when you do stretch beyond what you thought was possible, you find power, possibility, and joy. So I think the trick is, as conscious aware women, is that we're feeling into those fears, like the self-sabotage, like noticing when we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, or the perfectionism that's keeping our focus so narrow. We're afraid of being judged, any kind of fears that pop in, just noticing that, bring in some compassion, invite it to clear, let it go, and then stretch yourself to move beyond that. So it's simply just feeling that fear and then doing the thing you know you're being called to do anyway, taking bold action steps. And when you take one bold action step after the next, you find all of a sudden you're living in this really expanded life, this experience of your life that's so much bigger and better than you could have expected. And by bigger, I mean open, joy-filled, fulfilled, right? So we're no longer living from a place of guilt and shame and self-doubt and negativity. So I want that for you. I want that power, the possibility, and joy. And sometimes that can be just when you notice yourself having a worry, let the worry just be dissolved. So just feel it. Maybe let's say you're worried about your health. So you're noticing like, oh, I'm really putting a lot of energy into worrying about my health. I want it to be better, but that's not helping anything. So what if you just said, oh, that energy I'm using to worry about my health right now, what if I use this energy to go into some possibility right now? So instead of worrying, I'm actually going to just imagine, picture my future dream home, my future partner, the creativity that I have, the perfect health that I'm in, and just shift gears from that place of awareness. It's such a better use of our imagination. And then declutter your spiritual closet. So this is a really fun one because I think it really can help. And even clearing out your actual closet can really help too. To literally go through your closet, especially if it's a change of season time, it can be really good. Go through the closet, pack things away you're not going to use, take things out, take them to the thrift store, give them away to someone who really needs them. So what is the clutter for thinking spiritual closet, like the closet of yourself, your soul? Programming since we were in utero. We were, of course, programmed by our caregivers, by our parents, and those around us. Also, past traumas that haven't been resolved or healed, negative beliefs, and then also the energy behind those beliefs. This is the clutter to deal with, to work with. So the scale of consciousness describes our journey of getting out of negativity like guilt and fear and rising up the scale to greater joy and peace. And you'll hear me talk about Dr. David Hawkins' work a lot, not Stephen Hawkins, David Hawkins, because he is the creator of the scale of consciousness. And he's also written many books about it and supporting people, supporting humanity and getting to new levels of consciousness, letting go of ego. He's really big on the non-duality, dissolving ego completely, which means a death, a literal death of your ego self, so you can be enlightened, so you can be feeling serenity and inner peace and bliss and happiness, no matter what's going on in the external world. So as you move up the scale of consciousness, you're starting to feel more in control of your life. There's way less negativity and drama, perfectionism, self-sabotage, and you're checking in with your inner compass. And I would say you're also trusting, believing in those inner compass moments where you're like, for some reason, I know I need to do this thing. I'm being called over here, but I don't really know why. That seems even kind of unusual maybe, but I'm going to follow my instincts on this. When you do that time and time again, the world becomes so much more magical, so many more synchronicities. Your day is just full, chock block full of synchronicities. Next, my friends, we have to feel our worth. Of course, we have to feel our worth. How many of us have worthiness issues? You know, at the deep core, there's a sense like, I don't know if I'm good enough for this. I don't know if I'm a good enough mother. I don't know if I'm good enough lover. Am I good enough to have my own business? I don't know if I'm good enough to create the kind of income I want. I think this is really natural in boosting your own confidence, figuring out how to raise your self-worth so you have so much confidence and humility that you feel really capable. You just feel like, yes, I can do this. I've got this. I can, no matter what comes my way, I feel like I have the skills needed to move through this. And I feel like I'm just going to be capable of figuring out whatever you need to along the journey. That is an example of confidence. There's an ease about it. There's a belief in your own abilities. So I love this quote. You may have heard me say this before, by Marianne Williamson from A Return to Love. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. I'm going to make this a little bigger, a lot bigger. Woohoo! Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest. the glory of God that's within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others, by Marianne Williamson. I love that. She is brilliant. I love her work. I love the way she writes, the way that she feels into prayer and just these kind of invocations, like declaring where we want to be, how we want to feel, and asking for support. There's a quality of collaboration with a power that's bigger than us to get to where we want to go. So it's not like this spiritual bypass where we're like, oh, I'm just going to ask the universe to do it all for me. I'm not going to do anything. It's more like saying like, hey, universe, I could use a hand here. This is where I feel like I need to go, but I'm having a hard time because I'm having difficult emotions. Can you give me a hand? Can you give me a sign? Can you give me the next best step? To really use prayer, or whatever word you want to use, intention, to come into this place of support. We all need a little support. And I think some of us alone will fit. We feel like we should be doing it alone, otherwise we're weak, or we're not worthy, or whatever belief is there. So many of our beliefs aren't true. So we want to eradicate these negative beliefs, fill them in with positive beliefs and affirmations. The fear of visibility is a feminine wound. We've talked about this before, the witch wound or feminine wound. Unrequited dreams of the ancestors. Can you think of an ancestor? It could even be your mother, it could be her mother, grandmother, great grandmother, that would have had unrequited dreams, meaning dreams that she wasn't even, maybe she didn't even realize she could dream like that. Isn't it amazing that now we have the opportunity as women to dream big, to feel that there is no limitation on what Oprah Reese, even Marianne Williamson, who's now in politics. These women have really paved the way, opened the way for us. So we can be grateful for that. But our ancestors didn't even have the opportunity, and guaranteed some of those ancestors, and you probably even know who they are, want you to succeed. They want you to dream and live in this possibility, and then to take the bold action steps, because that made everything they went through worthwhile, right? It's this evolution of your genes, of your bloodline. They went through what they had to do when the consciousness was what it was on the planet, and it came all the way through. And now here you are blossoming into this next chapter of your life. And the ancestors are there with you. They're cheering you on because they're saying, hey, we didn't even get to dream. Here you are, and you can actually do anything you want. Like, you better get to it. Don't lose that opportunity, because we went through famine and poverty, and yes, you're going through a pandemic, and we're helping you with that too, because we were resilient and fortitude through various wars that we lived through the immigrating to new countries, not knowing anybody or knowing the cultural etiquette, protocol, and customs. So they're really there with you, saying, let's get to this. And just because it's a pandemic doesn't mean you have to lock down your life. It just means you're pivoting to say like, oh, wow, okay, using these healing gifts I have are actually really needed. And where do I fit into the picture? Maybe it's, who are my clients? Who's going to need what I can give? Because you have something to give, and there are billions of people on this planet that want support. Everybody needs support, and you're going to be able to help somebody. So feeling it's safe to be your true self without fear of judgment. Be bold and generous with your expression. Notice if you have any scarcity programming, and if you're kind of stingy. Are you stingy with buying things for yourself? Are you stingy with giving things away? And this also translates, because how we do something one way is how we will do it another way. And so we don't want to be stingy with our gifts, right? Sometimes we can use it as an excuse that, oh, I'm not worthy, or I haven't practiced enough, I don't have enough certifications. You only need to be one step ahead of somebody to help them out of the darkness where you have been. You will help people who have had the same blocks and problems as you. So you only need to get to the next step and have a revelation, have an awakening, and feel like you want to shout it from the rooftops, like, oh my gosh, I figured something out here. I want to help somebody. So I can't keep this a secret because I figured something out. And you also get to be the sovereign of your life, every area of your life, not just one area, all of it. You're the queen of each piece of the pie of your life. And we have to trust, we have to believe, and we have to receive. So many women are blocked from receiving because we're taught to be the caregivers from the get-go. We're taught to make sure everyone else is taken care of, and we're the last people on our own list, or we never even get to be on the list. But it's time to really change that, because as you build out your life, or maybe you're going to have your own business, you want to weave in balance and pleasure to that too. We don't have to be overachievers. We don't have to be workaholics. We can weave in balance and pleasure and really give ourselves the gift of possibility of having it all. Why not? And that doesn't mean life isn't going to throw us obstacles. That's the point of being human. You're going to get all kinds of stuff chucked at you. But when you are the sovereign over your life, you're trusting, you're believing, you're receiving, it's going to make it much easier or graceful to work with these things. And you'll be much more supported through divinity. And if you're working with me, through our sisterhood as well. There is magic in co-creation and embodied power. I truly believe that using the body and the energy of the body through movement is extremely powerful. And that personally for me is the way that I harness my magic, as you know. So my friends, amazing work today. Just wanted to support us, and you can let me know. You can go over to our Facebook group. Let me know what's resonating for you, how you feel like you want to move forward after contemplating this. Maybe you want to do a meditation now. You could even go in, if you're part of our membership or priestess school, we have tons of meditations. You could just go in there and intuitively pick one that's calling to you now, after we brought all this up into the conscious realm, and then use the energies within the meditation to start to shift and clear and enhance and open up to possibility. And also to that support of the ancestors. You know, if you're one of your loving ancestors could just pop in the room here with us right now, what would they say to you? Would they be patting you on the back saying, hey, you are doing such an amazing job. You're such an aware woman, and I want the best for you and your family, and so love you. And I want you to know that you can do anything you want to do. Don't let these little negative beliefs and programs that other people laid on you like burdens to stop you, because that's going to be such a shame. I want you to get to the end of your life and feel like, oh my gosh, I took all these risks and chances. Like, I don't even know what got into me. I took all those risks. And I'm so grateful that I did, because it got me to where I am today. And I have all these amazing memories, and I'm so proud of myself. I want you to get to the end of your life and say, I'm proud of myself for what I did, what I accomplished, whether that's on the inside, your spiritual journey, or externally with relationships, with travel, with your business or your creative projects. I want you to be so proud of yourself that you took those chances, that when you were scared, you did it anyway. You just went ahead and did it anyway. And sometimes you have to look at success as, what did I have to give up to get that success? Often there's something big that you've given up to, and you've sacrificed to take that next best bold step for yourself. And just to acknowledge that too, like, that was hard to do, or that was like a big deal for me to sacrifice this thing to get to the next level. And I'm so glad I did, even though it was challenging, because then I had all this fulfillment on the other side, and I didn't let anything stop me, even though lots of things were trying to pull me back again. So that's what I want for you. I believe that's what your loving ancestors want for you too. And I am here to support you and cheer you on as you shoot for the stars and as you dream big and as you allow yourself to dwell in possibility and less worry and just choose from reality, from all this potential reality, what you want. Just imagine you're choosing it, just like the sun rises, the sun sets every day. There's the lunar cycles, they just happen. And it just happens that you choose your reality. So, what are you going to choose? Amazing, my friends. Thank you. Beautiful work today. We'll see you soon.